What is up guys, Andy Forrest Runner here and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking all about Alphafly versus Next%. My workout this morning was indeed a workout I did back last year, or a similar one, November time, in the Next% version 2s, and I wanted to compare the data between the Alphafly and the Next%. So I'm going to be sharing all of that with you today and see which one I'm more efficient in, because the results are a little bit surprising. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut to the workout footage now. You can see how we got on, and then we're going to talk about the data. So welcome back to another video. Welcome to the workout, I should say. I'm out here with Lee. There he is. And I'm out here on the industrial estate trying to see how close the Alphaflys feel to the Next% in terms of paces. So many of you commented on the last video saying you PR'd or PB'd in so many distances in the Alphafly. And for me, running in it, it didn't feel like a ridiculously fast shoe, just a very efficient shoe. Well, we'll see all about that this morning. This morning, I'm getting a warm-up done, and then I'll talk to you about the workout I have. And although I might not be in the fitness I was last year, I want to see how close they feel to the Vaporfly. Right, 3-mile workout warm-up done. So, about to start the workout. What have we got today, and what is the comparison that I'm doing with the Vaporfly? Well, as I said, I'm not as fit as I was pre-Christmas, but I've done this workout a couple of times now in the Vaporfly, or a variation of it, so I kind of know how things feel in that shoe. I know what it feels like running at this pace in that shoe, and so this time it's all about testing it out in the Alphafly. 8 by 2 minutes, 8 by 2 minutes, 4 by 30 seconds. So pre-fitness, I was running around 520s, in the 520s per mile, occasionally creeping into the 5-teens, sometimes creeping the other way into the 530s. So that's kind of where I was at before Christmas with the fitness. In terms of what I'm looking for today, I'm not looking to match times, because I know that that will be stupid, and well, if I do, I do. I'm just in that shape, but if I don't, I'm not worried. What I'm looking for is to see how it feels to run at that sort of pace and that sort of intensity. For me, I've got to say, these feel like moon boots. They're a really nice shoe. Efficient, I think, is the best word for them. But are they fast? I think that is, so many of you, as I said in the comments on the last video, said about setting these 5k and 10k PRs, and it just got me really intrigued. I was going to be wearing the magic speeds out this morning, but I thought, no, come on, let's test these out. Let's just give them a quick blast, and then we can put them away until we do like a long run testing them at some point in the future. So that's what we're about to do. I'm about to undertake it, about to start the workout out here on the industrial estate. Signals here. Let's get the show on the road. Apologies for the poor light, haven't got time to get the camera out, but halfway, paces are great. Paces are as they were, which is surprising. Effort is harder than what it was, but I'll take it on to the next half. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Second half of that, somewhere in the 5-teens. That last one was 5:21 per pace per mile. So happy. 4 by 30 seconds to go. There we go, 4 by 200 done. No way I was going to film anything in that. That was all about knee drive, arm drive, form, all sub 5-minute mile pace. Holy moly, that was a good workout. So there we go, the workout went really surprisingly well. Just a quick backstory for anyone that's not familiar or dropping into the channel recently. I did a 10 or 12 week speed block, finishing up just before Christmas. Sadly, I injured my calf. I've been off for 4 weeks building back up slowly. I'm now into a new start, a new block, and I'm just recapping a couple of weeks worth of workouts before leading into some longer interval work. So that's what this morning's workout was. Now the two workouts that we're going to be comparing, I'm going to be throwing some data up on screen, is a workout that I did this morning, which was the 8 by 2 minutes, and a Vaporfly one, which I did, it was 8 by 2.5 minutes. So it's slightly different, but both with the 4 by 30 at the end. It was a gradual progression that I was doing last year, starting at 6 by 2 minutes all the way up to like 8 by 4 minutes in the end. So these workouts are extremely similar. So I just wanted to get that out there and also state, number one, the paces this morning were really far quicker than I anticipated. So I'm absolutely over the moon that the speed's not gone, just need to work on getting that endurance back. But number two, the data I'm about to share is from my Garmin Forerunner 245, looking in the Garmin Connect app. So obviously take it with a pinch of salt. There is some discrepancies that I'm going to talk about, but the data is really, really interesting. And it really has got me thinking, am I more efficient in the Alphafly or the Vaporfly? So let's dive in to that side of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up on screen the details for the Alphafly this morning. Going to give you everything from pace, average heart rate, cadence and stride length. That's what we're going to be talking about today and comparing between the two. As you can see, the pace was progressed through the workout. So the first 4 were a really solid pace, what I was like dreaming to hit in the beginning, but then I was able to kick on in the second half and run even quicker, which was amazing. And I've put the averages at the bottom of the 3 columns, the average HR, heart rate, cadence and the average stride length. So you can see what the figures are there. Average heart rate 164, average cadence 174 and average stride length 1.78 meters. And that was taken from this morning, and actually that's quite decent. For me, cadence is a massive thing. I normally race my half marathons in and around 168 to 172. It kind of tails off towards the end of the race as I get tired, starts in the 170s, finishes in the late 160s. So to get 174 on those reps this morning, I'm very, very pleased about as an average. And the stride length looks, from previous comparisons and previous workouts, in and around that, because I have checked this sort of data before. That's pretty standard for me. I do range between 1.7 meters to 1.8 or 1.9, depending on the length and duration of reps. So that all looks pretty good. Now flip to the Vaporfly that we did last November. This is in the 8 by 230. Here are the paces on screen, the average heart rate, the cadence and the stride length. You can see the paces are slightly slower. To be expected, the interval is another 30 seconds longer. However, the pace on average is still relatively decent. I was very happy with the workout at the time, I do remember it. And the average heart rate is 162. So comparing that to the Alphafly that was 164, really my Vaporfly is better, but you will notice a discrepancy in the last rep. Just have a look at the 2 figures next to that. So we've got the heart rate at 162, but then we've got a cadence of 140 and we've got a stride length of 2.47. Something went awry in that rep. I'm going to share some data with you in a second, which might change all of this. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that last rep, but I'm going to agree that the heart rate in the Vaporfly on that situation is better. That could be because I was around week 9 or 10 in the block. I was a heck of a lot fitter than what I am now, being a lot more efficient. Also, I floated a lot better in that workout than I did this morning. This morning's floats tended to be more of a jog, averaging around 7:45 to 8:15 per mile pace in that range, whereas these floats I think were like 7:20 to 7:50, so they were quicker. Overall in this session I was a little bit better. Interestingly, cadence 169. Now you see that discrepancy at the bottom, 140. We're going to erase that because I feel like that is a duff entry. So what I decided to do for that is, in my own formula, put in 176, which is the highest cadence from the previous rep, just to see what that would be like and what that would average things out at. And it still averaged things out at 172, which means I'm still 2 steps slower in the Vaporfly, or 2 steps less per minute in the Vaporfly than I am the Alphafly. So although at the moment, as the data you can see, it's a lot lower, 5 steps. If we remove that erroneous record and just guesstimate that it's going to be around 176 to 177, it still brings me in with an average of 172. So it's still less. So my cadence is higher in the Alphafly, which blows my mind considering it feels like such a bouncy shoe. And then the most interesting one is the stride length. At the moment, the stride length shows greater in the Vaporfly, but again, that erroneous record at the bottom, 2.47, that can't be right. So what I did is I put that down again, similar to the rep above, 1.81 meters, taking the highest number, and that would average out at 1.74. compared to the Alphafly's 1.78. So I'll put both of them on screen now so you can compare the two and see. So as I said, all I've done with that last record on the Vaporfly is simply just take the greatest or the highest number from the previous rep and just kind of duplicated it, because it was my fastest rep. So it's going to be higher cadence, it's going to be higher stride length. So I thought, to be fair, we'll give it the highest numbers that we've recorded in that workout at the time. But yeah, it still comes out slower. So it still comes out less than the Alphafly. So to summarize, my stride length is longer in the Alphafly because of the bounce probably, and my cadence is better, hence the quicker times, but my heart rate is a little bit higher in the Alphafly. Now the heart rate could be because I'm not fit enough. If I repeated this in 3 or 4 weeks when I was a lot fitter, I might find my heart rate's a lot less. Who knows? But the data's pretty darn close, isn't it? Now, as I said in the beginning, take this all with a pinch of salt. This is data from a watch. We have to remember that. And I'm not a data person myself. I hate looking at this sort of stuff. I just did it because I thought it would be interesting to share with you guys. And it has got me thinking, am I more efficient in the Alphafly? Is my turnover better? Is my stride length better in the Alphafly? Lots of people saying that the Vaporfly is lighter, nimbler, feels more aggressive, and I totally get that. It does feel like better, but it's got me thinking now after this morning's workout. This morning's workout was really good. I really enjoyed it, and the shoes were fantastic. So am I more efficient? There's going to have to be a race where we test these shoes out in. So I'm going to start thinking about when I can test these Alphaflys in a race. I was really hesitant about doing it, but you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I think at some point I'm going to try and book a longer race and test out the Alphaflys and see what happens. The only thing I felt in my Alphaflys this morning is that arch. I didn't feel it in the first run, but I did feel that arch pushing up a little bit into the bottom of my foot towards the end of the run. So I don't know how that, I think I'm going to have to get a couple more runs in at some point, and especially going to have to do a long run in the shoe just to see how that feels and if that gets worse. If it doesn't, then I'm pretty confident that I've got a good shoe in my hands, and maybe, just maybe, I might be one of those people that is indeed more efficient in the Alphafly than the Vaporfly. So there we go, that's the data from my workout. I'd love to hear if you've done anything like this with your Vaporfly versus Alphafly. Let me know in the comments below. It'd be fantastic to hear if you have, and if you haven't, why not take a look? If you've done similar workouts, check them out, compare them, see what the differences are and see what you're more efficient in. I'd love to hear it, because this is a fascinating thing for me. I got these shoes on half price thinking I'd never pay 270 quid for these shoes. Unbelievable price, what a rip-off, but for 135 I've got a decent long run shoe on my hands. And now after this workout I'm starting to think, have I got a good racing shoe on my hands? Time will tell. But anyway, that's it from me today. As I said, love to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole Vaporfly versus Alphafly thing. It'd be great to get that discussion going. If you enjoyed today, guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then.